Go to Africa. Where are you from, man? Where are you from? Where are you from, though? No, I want to know where you're from. You said go to Africa.
I'm not a slave.
Okay, I know you're not a slave. But where are you from? I just want to know where you're from, though. Are you even from this country? Where are you from?
And you will try to give the brainwash. You want to try to give the brainwash.
But why do you think I'm from Africa?
Because you are doing that, the slavery.
No, actually, I have more. My lineage is actually from Ireland. But I want to know where you're from. See, I don't think you're from this country, so maybe you need to go back to your country. But the sad part about it is we're arguing over where someone puts a house on a plot of land. Isn't that silly? Go back to your grass garden, because I live on this grass garden. My square's here, so you go back here. Listen, I want to let you know something. You don't own the grass garden. God owns the grass garden. I don't care whether you're from Eastern Europe or Ireland or wherever you're from.
Those sick ass daggone Greeks and Romans who were homoerotic weirdos, right? That's what a lot of this religious stuff is about. Because that's why it's so homocentric, it's so male, it's so much machismo, so much freaking misogynism in these religions, okay? You're gonna erase the one who nurtures life, who incubates life, who brings it forth onto the planet. You're gonna erase that? That is not indigenous. That's not natural at all. It don't even make sense. Make the woman like she's nothing but a side piece, like she's just a piece of furniture, like she's chattel. That's what the Europeans want to do. Because they don't want your life force and your natural flow to actually be restored. See, real indigenous men are never threatened by the feminine. They're never. They respect the feminine because they know the natural order of things. It's your all these European ideologies that got you all twisted up. Oh, I'm the man walking around with a dress shirt on, and I'm a man with a daggone sheet on my head, and I'm a man. And the woman stays behind, but and you all look dressed bad, looking crazy, okay? That's what you're teaching yourselves that's okay. It is never okay. Muslims got women all wrapped up while they act like savages in them streets. What the world? That's how they have you all twisted up. It is never edifying of nature, God, or anything good to daggone take the woman and daggone step on her. It's never. It's never. That's not natural. If you think it's natural, that's why you're not going to win. You can't win that way. It's never going to work. And that's why they keep purporting you in that direction. Because they know that if you got right and worked within your true nature, along and in agreement with the natural order of the planet, you will win. So they keep you all mixed up with this dumb stuff. And you go right along with it like a trained animal. Like a good doggy. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Oh, no. I'm a Christian. I'm a good Christian. No. Oh, I'm a good Muslim. Now here you've had how many hundreds of thousands of years, how many years of this Islam have you had, and what have they accomplished? Especially specifically for the African American, what have they done? They got schools. They have all these daggone mosques or mosques or whatever they want to call them. And they've got all kinds of restaurants, and they got lots of bean pies. But what have they accomplished that's changed the world or improved the condition for the African American? They've marched to Washington a couple of times. They've done not a damn thing. And you still think they're great. Why? Because man can talk. He can talk and it sounds rhythmic. It sounds musical. And you like the way it sounds. So you're just like, oh yeah, Farrakhan has got it together. He's a murderer. And he's a daggone turncoat. He's paid by the government. But yet, you still want to sit there and act like that's going to change your life. It's not going to change. Islam's not going to change nothing. And what it does change, it changes in the same way it's been changing for the past whatever 100 or some years. Is that if you are a minister and you organize yourself as a minister in America, you're going to get certain benefits. That's where your benefits come in. Being a minister, that's the limit. Okay, it's not changing your inheritance. It's not changing how you are classified or seen in the world. It's not changing what's going to happen for your future generations. It's just going to change your condition for a hot minute while you are organized as a minister. Period. Same thing if you're a Hebrew Israelite. If you're a minister, yeah, you can claim minister benefits. For now in America, under the not in America, in the USA Corporation, for now, you can claim benefits as a minister. Same thing for the Moorish Temple, Science Temple. As a minister, you can claim certain benefits and rights. It is not magic and it is not freedom, and you are not out of any matrix. It's just bullcrap politics and a daggone United States international corporation. You're just playing a temporary game.
So I would say, so when people start coming at you, telling you about these foreign ideologies, you have some questions ready for them and they must answer simple stuff. One of the questions could be, you talking all this Hebrew Israelite stuff. How come you not in Hebrewville or the city of Hebrew or whatever they call where they live over there? Why aren't you over there teaching the children over there what you're teaching the kids here? Or what you're teaching the young men and women here? And when you teach the women that stuff, it really screws it up, because the women are going to pass that on to the children, especially when they're young, and they're going to be twisted for life. See, that's your job. That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to find out anything about yourself. Ever. Nothing. You're nothing. You're supposed to be used as toilet paper for the incoming immigrants to use you. That's what you do, right? USA is Israelite territory. These motherfuckers grown men.
We're in the Southwest. And how is it your territory when you are catching pure fired hell? You ain't organizing. You ain't daggone controlling nothing. So how is it Erie Israelite, whatever territory? You sound ridiculous. Explain that. You need to come up on stage and explain that nonsense.
Yeah, man. Listen. I'm putting the chat. The link to the chat in. Come on and explain. We'll give you a couple of minutes to explain it. And let the chat decide. Let's do that. Boom, man. It's in the chat. Come on, holler with us. I'll put it in again, just in case I did something wrong. Put it again. Come in and explain how Nothing in the Bible's real. So, I mean, when did you figure out, Lisa, I'm asking you this, when did you figure out that something's amiss with this?
I mean, doesn't I mean, a lot of this starts when you're a child. When you're a child and you have
Chief,
questions,
Chief Chief Stand Still. I put the link to the stream in the chat. Click it and come on in.
when you're a child, when people do not have explanations and things don't make sense, but nobody can explain. And you know what? Back in the day when we used to be, ask a question. Well, because I said so, or they get real defensive and they just get mad that you're actually asking them questions. How dare you? You know that kind of thing.
And then
And
as you grow up, you understand that they just don't know the answer.
they just don't know the answer, and so they're embarrassed and frustrated. And the fact that remains is that they don't want to think about it. They just want to be comfortable and following along with the crowd that they want to be in.
Chief Stand
Church
Still,
crowd
right?
that they want to be in with. They want to be with this church crowd. So they want to fit in. So they don't question to fit in.
Here we have Chief Red Hawk. Brother, can you explain? Hey, can you explain why the Hebrew, whatever you call them, are in the southwest of the United States? How did they get there?
The thing about the children of Israel, Israel or whatnot, the children of Israel, see what people have to realize. Hold on, I'm trying to. I never done this before, so I'm trying to, uh, catch the echo and everything. All right, so the children of Israel, the Americas, with the Americas being the most ancient territory, what's considered in South America and with so-called Africa or whatnot, all of that land is considered Ethiopia. So when you deal with Central America, and when you deal with the Yucatan Peninsula, and then when you deal with Yucatan, Joplin, so the J and the Y are interchangeable with one another. So the descendants of Israel, Abraham, whatnot, would come from the main area, but this way on down to the southwest, on into Mexico, which is the nationality Mizraim, not Mexico. So when the children of Israel ended up in captivity, and man, my brain forget it for a while, long time. But the children of Israel ended up in captivity down in the land of Mizraim. And when they was there for a total of 430 years.
Brother, where's your grandmother from? Your mom's mom?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Where's her grandma from?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. So how did the people that lived in South Carolina, how did they become Israelites? How did the Israelites get to South Carolina?
You get through the Israelites got to South Carolina by captivity. The southeast, northeast of USA is the land of Assyria. So with that being the land of Assyria, the children of Israel are in captivity in Syria, in every single, matter of fact, in every single nation worldwide. But the thing is, a lot of our people, if we ended up in Cuba, they would be called Cubans. Not every Cuban is an Israelite.
Lisa, you had something to add?
Sir, I think that the problem is that we romanticize a fiction, right? That that actually is a book promoting servitude, slavery, and submission for the purpose of oppressing people. Okay? And so the fact that you believe this is a problem because
No.
in Turtle Island, we were not enslaved or slaves. Okay? It didn't even start like that. There's not this whole historical slavery thing is something they used to make you a slave. Okay? They use that to make you a slave, and you're trying to make it fit your real history. Your real history is not what they tell you it is. And why do you believe a book that you did not generate? Why do you believe a story that doesn't come from your great, 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 great grandparents? That doesn't come from your people? That story doesn't come from even Indians. It doesn't come from this continent. Why do you believe it? Who brought this story to you? Do you understand that this story was brought to you by Europeans, by Romans, by Germans? No, you don't believe that it came from them. Where did it come from? How did it get here?
Look,
You don't believe that it came from Germans?
no,
You don't
like
believe
I
that it
said,
came from Romans? You don't believe it came from Greeks? You don't believe it came from enslavers or wannabe enslavers? You don't believe that? What's the origin of this allegory?
gosh, man.
What's the origin?
Like you said,
Who got the story first?
what it boils down to, I'm trying to. It's all echoing. It's all echoing. So I'm really having a hard. I never done it, so I'm having a hard
You
time
might need
following.
to turn off, like, turn down your volume, or I understand that you probably have something on. Probably have two things on. You just need to listen through the StreamYard, and everything else you need to shut down or put it half volume or shut it down. That's what's going to cut back your volume, your echo. And if you got a phone on, make sure that's off as well. Like the volume's completely off.
All right, I understood. And all right. But yeah, what it boils down to concerning the book, we have to understand that there is a creator, the ancient spirit, the great spirit, and with the creator live, there's a living creator. So in order for us to understand that the creator exists, in order for us to understand that the creator exists, we have to understand that our people were put in position that we've been cut off for at least, I can count, in 2,742 years now. So when you say that we, the Aboriginal people, have never been enslaved, I get it in a sense because I look at the records and most of my people are farmers. So when you deal with we've been cut off for so long, and the prophecy is that we will be cut off for 3 days. Well, for 2 days, we'll be cut off in 2 days, and within that 2 days, we'll end up waking up. So, like I say, if we were cut off for 2,742 years and counting, we're getting closer and closer to the third day, which is that so-called 3,000 years. And with that being the case, we'll live in the sight of the Creator once again as a nation. Us waking up out of nowhere, out of the blue, for the past, ever since 1896, was it 128 years, if I'm not mistaken? That's how long we've been waking up. So, with that being the case, this is proof that the spirit of the Creator is upon his people, and nobody can stop it. No one can stop the fact that we're waking up. We've been in captivity so long. That's why the tribe that you come from in particular, or the tribe that he comes from, or they come from in particular, we're living amongst our enemies. That alone shows that we've been conquered.
Sir, let me ask you a question. Since you are incarnate to Israel, or your lineage comes from Israel, and you're the famous Israelis, the black Israelis.
No.
Huh? No?
Oh. One second. All right. I'm like I say, and then like you say, we coming from Israel. No, my ancestors come from Americas. We don't come from Israel. We don't come from over there in the Middle East.
But you have, but you have their, but you're talking their ideology. You're explaining their religious text to us. Why are you doing that?
That's a great question, and that's what it all boils down to.
You have an even greater answer.
Yeah, that's what it boils down to. So the number one crime today in the whole wide world is identity theft. We've been hit with identity. So these people that say that they are us, for one, we are not Jews. We are not the Jews. We are Hebrew Israelites. We have never been Jews. We will never be Jews. So these people, these Edomite, and in particular Amalekite Edom, from my understanding, they come from the red part of the canyon down there, down about a million feet over there in California or in Colorado and in Arizona. They left from that area, went over here to the east areas of America, and they went over to Spain, and they went on to Arabia.
Brother, we have another caller. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. But you know, when we come here, we try to do some.
Let him stay. Let him stay.
Let me get this. Let me get this other brother who's been hanging on. Mac Engine, how you doing?
What's going on, brother? Kayuk. Appreciate you letting me up. I hear the brother, talk about connecting. You got I hear this a lot actually, right? Thousands of years. We go back to, you said you came with this 2,700 odd years, right? Like you got to be an ill mathematician in the, we can't go back that far. That's the reality, right? We got to, because nobody knows. We can't. Who's going to validate what happened 1,000 years ago? So we got to stop. That's the point. We got to stop getting stuck on that and just start finding your ancestors are. And I know that it took a hold, and that's what he had. The brother asked you a question, right? He said, "What was your people doing? What was Did you find out what was your people in Alabama? What you said? What state? I forgot what
South Carolina.
South Carolina. But what was they doing? What was their culture like? It wasn't Hebrew. Everybody like to push this. Oh, we have to be Hebrew. Oh, why? Because our ancestors, our grandmothers and our aunts was always doing it. That's the only reason why we try to feel like it got to be right, But actually,
and the only reason they grab onto it is because white Europeans put that out there. They put this Hebrew narrative out there. They also make they draw parallels to the American Indians being Hebrew in their behavior and all kinds of things. But the things that they said that we were Hebrew like about was washing our being clean and just dumb stuff. It was like really weird, broad correlations to being Hebrew. And then you get these people that want to make up something and want to be leaders. They want to be spiritual leaders. So they take this and they run with it and they organize people around it. You got all these people following behind them over this made up ideology. It's completely nonsensical. Sir, it doesn't do anything for you. Being Hebrew, what is it doing for you? Explain that. Explain that to us.
The thing about it, this is what it boils down to. The sister made a great point. Those Israelites that we see on the corners, that we see being the face of the so-called Hebrew Israelite movement or whatnot, they are not servants of a living creator, overall speaking. I hate to say that they're not, because ain't nothing like recognizing who you are and then in a try to become better. But when,
All right. Let me tell you something I just found out, right? We all been duped. The Bible, we all been fooled, right? I'm gonna tell you something that I found out. The surnames, these biblical surnames, they go to Africa. So it's like the name Benjamin.
no, they don't. The surname is Israel.
We've been duped, man. I'm telling you, brother. Just hear me out. I wouldn't tell you no lie.
It's Benjamin ben Israel.
I'm gonna tell you.
Joseph ben Israel.
I tell you no lie, man. We've been duped. This is
You
not.
just
It came from. Hold on. Let me just hear it out. I traced the surnames. I traced like 5 surnames to Africa and 1 to Burma. Simeon, the Simeon name comes from Burma. That's a country over there in between Bangladesh and India. You know, it messed my head up. And I'm like, hold on. We were told that it was Jewish names, Hebrew names, right?
yeah.
But it's not. It's a lie. Just like everything else.
No.
Just like how they
No.
put us on slave ships. Just like, you know.
You
like,
can't tell a lot of people nothing, man.
it's just. But
Sir,
no,
do you have children?
Yes.
Do you teach them this?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I? But
No, why would you?
Is your entire family Hebrews, or is your mother, your grandmother, your on both sides, your aunts and uncles, or is your entire family Hebrew? Do they recognize themselves as being such?
or better yet, can you trace your genealogy?
that's, oh my gosh. Yes, the thing is, they are Hebrew Israelites. The fact that they don't know
call
it
themselves
is
that?
the case.
Do they recognize themselves as being Hebrew?
No, because they don't know it.
See? Well, then you can't claim that. You come from them. They're your bloodline. If your bloodline does not state that that is who they are, and your bloodline doesn't have evidence, records, documents verifying that you are Hebrew, how can you even dare call yourself something you have no evidence
It's not
of?
going to say that.
And your family doesn't even co-sign it.
Because I am a restorer of the path to walk in. That's why. Just like you, for an example, I heard you before, you teach your grandchildren the language. Who before you taught the grandchildren the language?
I have a real documented people with my real bloodline, with real records that connect me and real genealogy. And everyone that I
Yeah.
talk to in my family recognizes themselves as being Akamak. It's not a disputed thing. It's not something I have to fight against. And as I restore my people, there are benefits to our restoration. We have land, we have freedom, we can be free from taxes. We can actually daggone be free from this bureaucracy. We don't have to be a part of this daggone matrix. We can be free of the daggone criminal justice system. So what is this Hebrew stuff doing for you and your children? Are they going to gain their land back? And what land would that be as being Hebrew? What Hebrew
Just
land is
bringing
out
forward
there in
peace
the
of mind
government
for me.
records? As far as I've been doing my research, I found no Hebrew land listed in Turtle Island under any government records or any records historical whatsoever is listed as Hebrew land. So how do you claim anything?
It's not going to be that easy. Your enemy ain't going to tell you. Your enemy is not going to give you answers
You
that
should
you
have that
want.
answer. You're the Hebrew. I'm asking you. I'm not asking about no enemy. I said, where's your Hebrew land? How do you claim this Hebrew land? How do you
I
access
told
it
you. I said
in Turtle
Southwest.
Island? And how do you legally obtain your land and get your land back? What is your methodology? And where are your records to do so?
In other
The
words,
land.
if it was a court, if this was a court case and you had to prove that you was Hebrew to get some type of entitlement, some rights, How would you go about proving this in the court of law?
Man, we're sitting down with the panel, with all three other three people that's on this panel. We're sitting down doing so. Man, we'll chop it up, and I would love to do so. But when you got me verbally just trying to convince people, and no matter what I do or say, it's going to be thrown out. I'm fighting a losing battle, and I understand that. I wouldn't mind departing from
I
the
just asked you
situation
that
because
one
I'm fighting a
question.
losing battle, and I
I just
know
asked
that.
you that one question. If you ask it in reverse to me, I'll be very, I can very easily show you my genealogy, show you my records, show you my ancestors, show you my family trees, show you the court records that show the land that are connected to my ancestors, to my nation, and show that, and but also show court records showing how I was able to get one of my Accomack people off of a criminal court case, get that drop because of her in her status and our ability to self protect. So what I'm just asking, what is it that you can show that you can do for your children by being a Hebrew, and how can you obtain your land, your Hebrew land, and how can you obtain your Hebrew benefits for yourself and your progeny?
All right. So the fact that you could bring forth those things, that doesn't mean that you're not a Hebrew. That's what you don't
It
understand.
does mean, because I could tell you that I'm not a Hebrew. I know who I am. I'm not trying to be something that I'm not, and I'm not trying to go back thousands of years and claim some kind of
Okay.
ideology that some white man brought to the daggone Turtle Island. Because the white man brought all kinds of toxic, poisonous things, and that's one of them. That daggone Hebrew ideology is a
No, no, right.
toxic, dangerous, divisive
Like I said,
instrument. It is warfare. And I'm out to obliviate everything that is going to cause separation, division, and destruction amongst my people.
that's understood. I agree with that. But what you don't understand is you keep putting all the so-called Bible talk, the so-called Old Testament with the New Testament, not understanding that two books that's brought together and called the Bible. That is what confuses people. So when
Matter
you,
to me. I don't. You know
and
what?
every time I
It
start
doesn't matter
talking,
to
you
me
start
because
talking.
I don't ascribe
You always
to
asking
any
questions
kind
just
of
wait for the answer.
ideology that's going to divide my people. Okay, I don't subscribe to that. Being anything that's going to
Well,
be
quit asking me
divisive
questions then.
is not part of this life.
Yo, man, check this out. See, this is what I'm saying. We talk to anybody, man. What you thinking about, what's going on through your head. And so we just having conversation with you, and you don't know what the hell you talking about, basically. So we just
Yeah,
gonna go ahead.
understood.
We gonna go ahead and wish you the best, man. I hope everything comes to fruition for you. Good luck with
But
that.
but let me tell you this: your children, their children, your great great grandchildren will be better off if you worked on being your indigenous self and stop and
Yeah,
let go of this Hebrew
but
stuff and start being the South Carolina indigenous person that you truly are, reclaim your true
they
South
can't have
Carolina Indian identity, heritage, and
some
land.
panel
That's
for the
gonna
family that
benefit
we
your
ain't
children.
here.
Hebrew Israelite ain't doing a god darn thing for them. It ain't gonna help them. Okay, it ain't gonna save them. It ain't gonna keep them out of jail. It ain't gonna keep them out of poverty. It ain't gonna keep them out of daggone any kind of destruction they have going forward that they're gonna have to face on this planet. The Hebrew Israelite stuff is not gonna help them. But if you actually repatriate the real people that you are, you can win for your children. So I'm sad that this stuff does this to families. It tears them up, it disinherits them, it makes them lose.
Well, he's gone, but that's the point. These cats make statements and they tell us all kind of hocus pocus, and when they're asked to explain, they can never explain.
Well, I mean,
Neither.
he's gone but not forgotten, and it's sad though. Really, it's really sad because that's what the enemy, that's what these globalists want us to do. They want us to be all occupied by either politics, sex, drugs, religion, these social groups, these fraternities, sororities, these daggone, social societies, more societies, whatever societies. They want us to be occupied by these things. So we cannot organize into the real nations that we're supposed to be, our former selves, because we're so daggone conflicted and so daggone misdirected. That's what they want for us. And it's sad to me because I'd say when he's got kids, if he would just use his dedication to learning something and to learning about his own family, his own bloodline, his own land, his own rights, his own benefits, his own, freaking like, freedom that he could daggone obtain for the future generations, he would win. He would win.
Yeah,
But
I
he
mean,
rather
go ahead, love. Your mute is on.
he rather sit in a room of semi informed, confused people and debate things that were brought here by people who meant to use it to destroy you